Good morning, Patriots. JT here, Serenity Farms prepping bright and early Sunday morning. So, you are physically getting prepared for what's coming. Have you mentally prepared? So, the physical part, everybody can start to get in better shape by actively practicing many of the physical requirements that are going to be needed on a daily basis in many situations, like cutting wood with an axe for a few hours a day, raking, shoveling, working without tools that are plugged into the electrical grid or have a battery. Things are much different without the modern conveniences. Walking wherever you may have to go, that's going to be huge. There may be no vehicles, or it very likely will not be safe to drive. There will be roadblocks set up by authorities or deviant scum. And there may just be no place to go. If you are forced to bug out, you're gonna have to walk where you're going, carrying a backpack. Many physical things we can work on, or should have been, to get ready for what's coming. But mental stress is, or can be, extremely exhausting. Physically exhausting. Ask anyone who's ever been under any kind of stress, even for a short period of time, how it drains you physically. And it does in many instances. Now, some people under stress seem to calm down, seem to quote unquote thrive on it, and to a certain level that's true, but everybody handles the exact same stressful situation differently. If you put 10 people in a room and present them all with the same stressful situation, 9 of them could freak out and the 10th person could thrive. Some of us are just wired differently. Some people have been through many different things in their life where when they state, I don't stress about the little things, or that's no big deal, that doesn't bother me, they may actually be telling the truth. Everyone's definition of what's stressful, not stress, what's stressful, can be different. Now, yes, there are different kinds of stresses as well, but how everyone handles any kind is what differentiates us from each other. So, there are a few different groups of people in society, and how they're all going to handle the mental aspect is going to be vastly different. Dangerous even to themselves and others. So first we have the people who are in complete denial about the realities happening right before their very eyes, hitting their checkbook daily, and they still refuse to acknowledge anything's wrong. These people have had cognitive issues for a long time. I refer to them as the masses with the M in parentheses, and they exist on both sides. They are pretty much helpless. They are pretty much beyond help. When the SHTF goes down, many of these people will become mumbling, bumbling, drooling, curled up in the corner, buckets of mush. Many of these people will take the easy way out, maybe for them and their families, by their own hand. These people are very dangerous because you literally don't know how they're going to react from one second to another. Snap is the word we often hear, and that's a very good description for these people. You can just see it. Just because they may appear to be sitting in shock, comatose in the corner, they could literally hear a word, a sound, a smell, a sight, and snap. Distance yourself. Some of these people won't be 100% known until after a situation in which we are all suddenly isolated and you realize there may be people in your group who did not react or are acting anywhere close to what you envisioned they would be. You will have to deal with that situation if it arises. We'd like to think that we are screening all the people coming into our group, but let's be really honest here. We never really know anyone, including ourselves, until we're put in a situation that causes us to act or react. Which leads to group number 2, which is what I like to think we're in. The Patriot, Preparedness, Prepper groups. We've done a lot to get merchandise ready, physical touch stuff ready, food, water, supplies, ammo, tools, yada yada yada, that kind of stuff. While a very important part, we still cannot get inside everyone's head as we need to, including our own. We believe, and many talk a good game, that we will do whatever is necessary to save ourselves or our loved ones and protect what we have worked so hard for. And many of us will, in fact, do that. Then we will have the consequences of our actions to deal with. Given the situation, we may not have time to sit in a group kumbaya and discuss what just went down and analyze everyone to see how they are dealing with what just went down. At some point, it will have to be addressed. Likely one-on-one or one-on-two. I would advise always having 2 people at least to sit down and talk to another individual who might be having an issue or just after an incident, you need to interview everyone in the group to get different perspectives, ideas, thoughts, and just to look them in the eyes. If you only have one person, you're going to miss something. If you have two people, the odds are better you're going to catch it. But you get where I'm going. I would say that 99.9999% of the population has never had to do something that was whatever was required, if you know what I mean. My career in law enforcement did give me a couple opportunities to have to make a decision to act. They did not have to follow through all the way to the end, but deciding to act and then being ready was difficult enough. You have to deal with those, and then you're brought before certain people to speak on it, and you're analyzed and given a little time off from whatever post you might have that might put you back in the same situation. Okay, we got a little situation ourselves. Ladies. Did you hear them? Okay, sorry. Back to reality. Living in the country. All right. We may discover that someone we thought was solid as a rock did what had to be done. Then after the dust settles, is having some issues with it. Sometimes these folks recover, sometimes they never do. Depending on the severity of the reaction to their actions, the group can move forward with that. Unfortunately, every group does not have someone who has any experience in any type of psychological situations. I have a lot of time-tested, mother-approved experience in this particular area, although not college educated, which, remember, those people, they step out of a 4-year university of higher learning without ever actually having dealt with any of the situations that I dealt with for 8 hours a day on a regular basis. And I'm not hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt either. But I learned a lot of the things that I know the hard way on myself and others. But nonetheless, there's a lot to be said for practical hands-on experience. Now, am I a highly trained professional? By no means. And I don't claim to be. But I have a little bit of insight where I may catch some things early on that everyone else is missing that could prevent something bad, potentially, from happening. We shall see. Hopefully not. Now there's a group of folks that are currently stumbling around the streets, obviously experiencing issues already, or worse, we don't realize these people have issues because they are medicated. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Like anything else, at some point, doses have to be increased. Medications have to be changed. People develop tolerances to current doses, or their issue gets more severe, requiring higher doses, which always have negative side effects. We all know this. It's no different with psych meds than it is with other meds. At some point, they cause other issues, health or mental, that require more medications. It's a vicious cycle. So now we see the cesspool, shithole, demtard cities with tents and campers and crap everywhere. We see the people on the streets that are obviously drug addicts, homeless. Now, not all homeless people have mental issues. So, I would assume they do if you have to encounter any, but treat them all as rational, remain as calm as possible, then make some decisions. But don't come out visibly assuming that someone has an issue. They can tell. And even if they had a small issue, immediate resent, fear, loathing, hatred will develop because you're judging them. While you may be fully entitled to judge them, you've got to have your head on a swivel, take stock of where you are and whose space you're in. It's not yours. Act accordingly. Now, hopefully you're not in a cesspool shit-tard city, but for some reason you may find yourself passing through one or whatever. This is going to happen in small towns and places you would never expect as well. But these are the people you know are on meds. And when it all goes down, all those meds that they get on your dime, those are going to stop. Yeah. Yes, they are. But their mental issues will not. Now, most people, if they've been regularly dosing for a few months, may get by for a couple weeks before their system, which has been saturated with psych meds, begins to wear off. Some will be much quicker than others, depending on what they do when they no longer have meds. One more group I think we should include is all the people that the demtards and rhinos will release from prisons across the nation. New York alone has over 60 facilities. Every one of these facilities, I can guarantee you, based on my experiences, have people in them on psych meds. Some are on massive doses and are barely functional until they decide to go off. Some are on minuscule doses, likely equal to the amount that a lot of people you know are on, that you don't even know they're on the streets. All these folks, they're criminals, they're murderers, they're robbers, they're drug dealers, they're child sex traffickers, they're pedophiles. They are the worst of the worst. Very similar to the illegal invading military-age men the Democrats are bringing into the country by the tens of millions. You don't think some of those aren't wackos as well? So, not only do we have to do whatever we can to keep our own mental faculties as strong as possible, but we have to be wary, conscious, just keep your head on a swivel, of everyone around us, especially people we are first meeting. Some of your most mentally deficient, deranged people can come across as extremely intelligent, based, calm. Remember how many different types of mental issues there are out there. You likely won't even realize that someone has one until after the fact. So, while you physically do everything you need to do to get ready, understand mental health is going to be a major factor as this all goes down. This went a little longer than I planned, but it is of vital importance to all of us. That's all I got for now. Have a good Sunday, everybody. www.storagechef.com. SFP15 for your discount code. Buy your food wherever you can. Just please get it. But for now, JT, signing off.